GreenTeaGuru.co.uk offers green tea, white tea, black tea, oolong tea, and we absolutely love pu'er tea with offerings of Misty Peaks, Yunnan sourcing, Munghai, and Shaguan. We regularly visit Hong Kong and Guangdong, sourcing out very interesting and special cakes for your tea table. Green Tea Guru, based in UK with worldwide delivery. Hey people, how you doing? It's Ollie here, the Tea Guru. As you guys probably know, I do a lot of my tea sourcing from Guangdong Tea Market. It's called Fancung Tea Market. So join me as we explore the inner bowels of South China's largest tea market. Let's go. Alright, so the first night I got into Fancung, I hit the street straight away. We came across this little shop here. The lady, she sells a lot of pu'er, ripe and raw, etc. But she showed us and we tasted this amazing Danchong oolong. Now Danchong is an oolong from Guangdong area, so it's a local oolong. Personally, I've mixed feelings about Danchong. When there is an expensive Danchong to be tried, it can be a spectacular tea. The cheaper ones can be a little bit awkward. For example, cheap Phoenix Danchongs, to me, comes across as no real flavour, no real taste, no real depth. A more expensive Phoenix Danchong will be glorious and giving out all sorts of interesting citric, maybe orange peel sort of notes and a much more depth roasted flavour. Similar things can be said about the greener Danchongs, and this is a greener Danchong. I do find the cheaper ones to be hinting towards what Danchong can ultimately be in a good Danchong, but there are some awkward notes associated with it. Perfume, almost a bit like, it reminds me of concubine oolong from Taiwan. So the aroma and the flavour was just like a beautiful exotic perfume. It's so fruity, it was just unbelievable. It really was an absolutely stunning tea, this one. The price reflected that, unfortunately. It was very expensive. My problem right now as a tea vendor is I haven't hit the stratospheric heights that I wish I could. So to really get this tea in any adequate quantity and be able to market it at the price point it is, would be tough, because really I think with this sort of Danchong it needs to be sold within about 6 to 9 months before things start petering off, and it just wasn't a viable option, unfortunately. But you never know, maybe in the future.
These tea leaves is like you pick about 40 days, and it's only spring can pick this, so that's why it's more expensive.
Doesn't want to, does it?
Yes, they can brew for about around 20 times.
Oh, 20 infusions, huh?
20 infusions.
20 infusions? Possible, I suppose, but I wasn't there to check. Anyway, moving on. Alright, my second visit to this guy, my followers may have seen videos of this guy before from my previous tea visit. I always come here to source Taiwanese oolongs and black tea. This guy is he's a Chinese native, but he does swan over to Taiwan to source his tea. He sells nothing but Taiwanese tea, and I gotta say, he does serve up some really good tea. Here you can see us trying the Taiwanese Assam Sun Moon Lake black tea. A very interesting tea, similar in some respects to a bug bitten oolong. So it's got some sort of really nice clove or deep red berry sort of flavours. We also walked away with 2 grades of Dong Ding oolong, the Guru standard grade and the higher grade. Higher grade's all gone now. Guru standard is very simply a very good, affordable Dongding Oolong, which shows very good Dongding Oolong traits at a very good price. So we tried a few, working our way up in terms of price, and we arrived at a very comfortable level that was we deem a very good deal in terms of Dongding tea, but at a very good price and a very good taste. As well as these Dongdings and the Sun Moon Lake Assam, we also walked away with Bug Bitten Oolong, which is a very good tea. Bug bitten meaning that leaf hoppers were allowed to bite the leaves of this particular oolong, creating its own unique taste. Also, a very nice Alisan oolong tea. Right guys, let's check out some more tea! So lucky to run into this. This is the 2017 Laos Gushu. Incredible stuff, nearly run out. We also got to try some Yunnan walnuts. Very, very tasty. Alrighty. This shop, this is where I sourced the 2 grades of Tit Gun Yam, Iron Goddess of Mercy, Tai Guan Yin oolongs. I sourced 2 Da Hong Po oolongs from this shop, and also an incredible charcoal roasted 2009 Tit Gun Yam. So these guys, they do sell a little bit of pu'er on the side. I mean, it's hard to get away from in Guangdong, but they front a farm or a conglomerate of farms over in Fujian province. I was so glad to be introduced to these guys, and I'll tell you what, I think I'm going to be doing most of my Fujian province oolong sourcing from these guys in the far off future. So we're just about to try some Tit Gun Yam oolongs. Now, I did walk out of here with 2 different types of Tit Gun Yam oolong. The first being the Guru standard grade, and the second being the higher grade. So the method really here is start off low, work your way up and up and up and up until you reach a good balance of price and flavour. So to pick the Guru standard, I was looking for some very good Tit Gun Yam traits for a good price, and we tasted, it must have been sort of over 12 or more different oolongs, and they had so many. You know, sometimes they would start at a price and they'd be 3 or 4 maybe for that price, and they must have had 40 Tit Gun Yam oolongs there, and it's just impossible to try them all.
Cheaper one.
Some eagle-eyed viewers out there may have noticed Philip here of EU Mountain Tea. I met him on this tea trip. Such a good bloke. He sells EU area pu'er tea. He fronts a family farm from Gaoshan in EU, but he also sources other pu'er tea from EU region. But a lot more on him on a future video. We tried a few Tit Gun Yams, as well as the Tit Gun Yam taste that you would associate with Tit Gun Yam. Some may come across a little bit creamy. There was others that had a sort of umami, a sort of umami seaweed kind of taste associated with as well, which, you know, I may source in the future because it was a really good tea. But at this point, I was just going to get the 2 different types. But next time I might go for the umami because it was a really interesting selection.
I mean, look at what you want to do. good tea.
Yeah, happy customers.
You don't want.
定一定，
I say
唔使咁長㗎。熄咗佢再錄。
yeah, you don't want.
That deep green. It's a bit faded. Green. That's super duper. So what's the price? Gation. That over there.
This one smell better.
You can see how vibrant the color of that is.
Very bright flavoured. Aroma. Not as creamy as the last one, but more fresh and green. It's got that creamy nature and it's a bit bright.
It's okay, yeah.
Yeah. Anything different?
It's drinkable.
Oh, it's great. Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
More?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe jump up to a bit.
Can we go another level higher to find out? This one I like. We'll get some of that. And I might go for this one, but I want to see what the next one is.
就是在考虑这个，但是
So I think it's very important for you guys to see the process that's involved in picking tea for you guys, for picking versions that I think you guys will be happy with. Same thing with the Da Hong Po. So the Guru Standard Da Hong Po, the aroma, by the way, of the rinse is really, really good. But again, I believe I hit a certain level that I'm very happy with, and I do actually drink it a few times a week myself. The more expensive, the higher grade version of Da Hong Po, of course, is absolutely booming tea. But you've got two levels there to pick. Da Hong Po is inherently an expensive tea, and you know the expensive version of this Da Hong Po is an adequate version for that price range. But you will definitely not be disappointed with the Guru Standard, I can assure you. Also, the charcoal roasted 2009 Tigunyam. It's just an explosive roasted tea. Of course, it was a Tigunyam. It was a green tea before. They roasted it with charcoal. But can you believe the roasted complexity that can come out of aging a tea for a little while and the charcoal? I mean, the charcoal's there, but really it's the complexities which really makes a truly outstanding tea. The art in roasting a tea is an amazing thing. I wouldn't say it's going out of fashion these days, but it's much more scarce. But if people can still produce tea like this, and the amazing flavours it can give, it won't disappear anytime soon, I can assure you. Thank you so much for stopping by. It was definitely an amazing tea trip, and here's to another one later on in 2018. Thanks for keeping it Guru. See you soon.